Royals, and welcome back to my channel. If you are a first timer here, welcome. My name is Tiara Cherie. I am an inner healing coach, a published author, and a beautypreneur. And in today's message, we are going to address the topic of relationships, and not just ordinary relationships and how to maintain them, but we are going to address the elephant in the room. Why am I still single after I've been seeking God for a mate? So come on in so we can talk about this right now. So some of us ladies are wondering why we are still single. As we have been praying and seeking God for a mate, we have written it in our vision board, our starburst. We have been, writing it in our journal. We've been declaring it over our lives. We've been doing the work that it takes to attract a certain type of man in our lives, and it hasn't yet happened. And time waits for no man. We know this. We are aging well, but some of us are in our 40s and even our 50s, and we're like, oh my God, am I going to be stuck single in my life without actually fulfilling this desire of my heart? And so I want to get real about why some of us in the world have not yet experienced authentic love, why we haven't attracted the ideal partner, and why we are still single doing the work. So let's roll up our sleeves and get to the meat and potatoes of this message. Some of us are still single and still needing to do the work because we have had over a decade or over 2 decades of entertaining men in our lives that we were unmarried to, entertaining relationships that were toxic, entertaining them sexually. We have been emotionally in traumatic experiences. And so when you think back over your life and you think back over the experiences and the encounters that you've had and the entanglements that you've had, let's be real. It's going to take a lot more work for us to heal from those experiences. And even if some of you feel like I've done the work, I've asked for forgiveness, I've healed, I've removed myself, I'm, single, I'm walking the right way, I'm doing the right thing with my life, some of us still have some residues that we haven't cleaned up. And you're probably wondering, well, with doing the work, how is it that I still have some residues in my life? What am I still holding on to in my life? Well, I'm glad you asked, because some of us are holding on to a lot of emotional pains and even some mindset issues where we have not forgiven ourselves, even though we've done the work. But we haven't truly forgiven ourselves, and we haven't truly wiped our slate clean. And we're still thinking that we have to do so much to prove to ourselves and to prove to God and to prove to people that we're worthy. The first thing is having a mindset that I'm worthy of love. I am love, and I'm worthy of love. And I'm worthy to receive love, and I have the capacity to give love. So some of us are not yet there mentally in our mindsets and even in our emotions, because we think that our past have canceled out our future. And we think that the experiences that we had, bad, good, or indifferent, has, caused us to not connect with the man that we desire to connect with. So we're automatically canceling ourselves out, and we're meeting people, but we're meeting people with that mindset, and that resonates, right? That shows up in our friendships and shows up in our relationships and in our connections, and it's showing up that we are not ready to be pursued. We're not ready to be married. We're not ready to be a partner. We're not ready to become one with someone, because we are still dealing with some broken pieces in our mindsets. We're still dealing with some broken pieces of our hearts. We're still trying to find our way. So that is one big chunk of why we are still single and haven't manifested or attracted the person in our lives that we've been seeking God for. Another thing is, thinking about all the relationships that we've had in the past. Again, there's some residue there. There's still some soul ties there. There's still some things that come up for us that we entertain in thought and word and deed. And it really shows that we're just not ready. We're not ready. We're still being prepared for the person that God has in mind for us. And so I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's not easy when you're looking around at some of your friends and you're just looking around at people in general and you're like, wow, they have somebody in life that they can share their life with, they can grow with, they can, experience things with, they can partner up with, Sometimes it makes you feel very isolated, right? Sometimes it makes you feel like you are by yourself and, God has forgotten about you. But the reality is God hasn't forgotten about you when you have a real deep desire in your heart that doesn't go away no matter how much you've been hurt, how much you've been broken, how much you have suffered, how much you have sacrificed, how much you've gone through. And that desire is still in your heart for marriage, and it's still in your heart for partnership, and it's still in your heart for family. Let me tell you, that is a desire that God has put inside of you. And the reason it isn't going away is because God doesn't want you to let that desire go, because that is something that he wants to bless you with. But the reason that you're not being able to receive in this time, in this season, is because there's still more work to do. There may still be some more inner healing that you have to do. There still may be some things that he wants you to be assigned to, right? Where, maybe marriage would take your focus off of the things that he's calling you to do in your singleness. So how do we cope? How do we cope, and how do we remain grateful, fulfilled, happy, satisfied, joyful in our season of singleness, when we know we are ready and we feel in our heart, soul, mind, body that we are ready to partner up with the person that we have dreamt about, the person we've been praying for, the person we've been seeking God about? How do we cope? Well, we have to continue to believe God. We have to continue to trust that God's promises are yes and amen, right? Now, he doesn't promise in his word that he's going to give us a husband. So I don't want to mislead you in that, right? He's not saying everybody gets a husband like how Oprah says, everybody gets a car, you get a car, you get a car. No, God is not saying you get a husband, you get a husband, you get a husband. But what I'm saying is, when you have a strong desire for marriage, for family, for partnership, for legacy, for purpose, and this desire remains the same, then it is a desire that God has placed inside of you, but it's just not in the right season. So here's what we can do in the wait. We can continue to rebuild our temple, mind, body, spirit. Yep, you hear me talk about it every day. We can continue to focus on the woman that we desire to be, the wife we desire to be, the mother we desire to be, the businesswoman we desire to be, the sister friend we desire to be. We can focus on who we want to become. Yes, we have time to do that. And we can focus on, our mindsets, getting rid of all that negative thinking, getting rid of all that junk and toxicity, even in our emotions and things we've been holding on to for years, and the baggage that we've been carrying, right, for decades. We can do the inner work to get rid of those things so that we can be light, and so that we can be free, and we can flow, and we can do and be who we are created to be, right, in our authenticity. So that people can see the men or the man, I should say, that God has for us, right, can see who we really are. And it's just that simple. But the work is not simple, but it's that simple when you think about it. And another thing we can do is, again, focus on our own dreams and goals. Apart from our, relationship goals, we can focus on, what do I want to create in my own life? What do I want to bring to the table when I meet my husband? I can't just wait for him to save the day. He's not a knight in shining armor for me. At least that's my thought, right? Because I don't want to set my expectations so high where you set yourself up for disappointment. So what are we doing in our lives to contribute to the type of life and lifestyle we truly desire to have? What are we doing? How are we preparing? And what are we bringing to the table other than looks, beauty, a little bit of personality, charisma, whatever? What are we bringing to the table? We need to bring grace. We need to bring fruit of the Spirit, right? Because the thing about marriage is it's ministry. I've been married. I failed at marriage. Not because I didn't give it my all, but I feel like I failed because I did things outside of, I believe, the will of God for my life. And I chose based on my own emotions, and I wasn't led by the Spirit of God in that marriage. So that's why I believe I failed. But we want to get to the point in our lives where we are sound, we have wisdom, we are seeking God, in the right heart, in the right matters, in the right mindset, so that we don't marry and partner up with somebody based on a need, or based on loneliness, or based on flesh, or based on, hey, I'm 45 and I'm still single. We want to do it for real. So we have some work we have to do in order to be in that position to receive what God has for us, right? So focus on you, focus on building up your life, focus on things that you need to clean up. Maybe you have to clean up your credit. Maybe you have to get your finances in order. Maybe you need to figure out your purpose and what God is calling you to, and what road you should be, exploring, and what you should be pursuing, right? When it comes to your own life, your own self, you need to focus on your health and your wellness. Okay, am I in the best emotional state? Am I in the best health? Am I my best self? Am I truly happy with myself, first of all, so that I can enjoy happiness with someone else? Or am I just waiting on somebody to shift my life and make it so much more better? See, we have to really think about those things. And I had to think about those things. And yes, let me tell you, I'm still single. I am single and 40, and actually getting ready to be 41 in a couple of months, right? But I know that I am still doing the work. I know that I'm still helping women like you. I know what my purpose is. So it's that I'm doing the work, but I know that it's not my time and season. And even when I meet, men in my life, it's not a divine connection. It doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel organic. It doesn't feel like it's something that God has placed in my life to bless my life. So I don't pursue it. I quickly let it go because I've been through so much that I don't have room to entertain, to entertain a man in my life that isn't purpose for my life, right? So when you get older and wiser and you have experience in your life, you don't make room to entertain anything that doesn't have longevity, doesn't have purpose, doesn't have, the highest, greatest potential to prosper and to be successful and to be what God has created it to be or desire it to be for you. So we move differently, right? We navigate differently. We have a different perspective, a different mindset about the type of woman that we are because we've been working on ourselves. And we've been clearing up some junk and clutter so that we can make room for the person that we have desired. Oh, I'm at 15 minutes. And, and we have, done all of the things that we need to do in our lives to bring something to the table, to contribute something to the table, into the relationship, into the marriage and the partnership. Okay, so focus on that. There's work to do. Don't focus on the negatives, or focus on the loneliness, or focus on, wow, I'm single and nobody wants me. Okay, we need to scratch that mindset. Somebody do want you, but you haven't yet been found. And I truly believe it, and I'm truly sticking by it, that you are found, that we are found. And so when God has someone in mind for you and he wants that man to find you, he's going to open up his eyes. He's going to open him up, right? He's going to awaken him. He's going to show him who you are, and he's going to have the desire to seek you and find you, right? So that's what we're going to hold on to. That's what we're going to have faith in, and that's what we're going to continue to believe. So I want to offer you some ways that you can continue to live a happy, healthier, vibrant life, where you are vibrating higher, you are flourishing, you are prospering, you are living abundant, you are doing what it is that you love to do in your life, right? Single or not. So here's the first thing: love yourself. And I'm reading from my book, Beauty versus the Beast in Me, Mastering My Own Demons. Okay, this is mine here. If you want a copy, you can email me at bewelluniv@gmail.com, or you can comment under the video, and yeah, we will get connected. All right, so love yourself. When you love who you are, you will set the precedence for others to love you in a healthy way. They will pour into you, make deposits, not withdrawals. When you love yourself, you are showing people that you are respecting yourself, you're caring for yourself, you are aware of self, you understand your self-worth, and there's no room for settling. Your boundaries are set, and you know, anyone who is in your life will understand, respect, acknowledge that, and embrace that about you. So love yourself first. It is essential. Which brings me to my next point: know your worth. When you know who you are less likely to settle for less than God's best for your life. Do not compromise your moral standards or values to make anyone comfortable. Okay? Entertain good company. Surround yourself with people who are like-minded, people who have the same desires, goals, and aspirations as you, the same things that they want to manifest in their lives, people who will uplift you, who will pray for you, and who will celebrate who you are. Rise to the occasion, darling, okay? So we have to rise to the occasion when we want to manifest, when we want to bring it to fruition, when we want to stand in position of who we are and what we desire. We have to rise to the occasion and be everything that we desire in our lives. We have to be that woman. We have to be that woman. And it goes back to my points where I said, you know, work on self, work on the woman you desire to become, work on the things in your life that you want to see in your life, right? Let go of the past. Let go of the past, girl. Okay, release and bless the past. Declutter your life of any negative people and toxic energy that stifles your growth and hinders you from reaching your destiny. It isn't always easy, but it's very necessary so that you can become the extraordinary woman that you were created to be. Be attentive. Oftentimes we get distracted because our emotions are in a different type of place, and we are desiring from the flesh, right? And you're thinking all these other things outside of our spirit. So we want to avoid the pitfalls and the traps that the enemy, you know, has for us, sending counterfeits our way. You know how it goes. And if you're not careful, you will repeat the same patterns and vicious cycles of hurt people, all right? Never accomplishing our goals and never doing what we are called to do, and never meeting the person that we have been praying and seeking God for. Follow your purpose. This is the call that God has on your life. In this time of waiting, how are you pursuing the things of God? What are you doing with your time, your gift, the anointing that God put on you, the talent, the skill? What are you doing with what he has placed inside of your hands. Focus on that. Do that in the spirit of excellence and watch how God move in your favor. And the last thing I want to say about this is ask, believe, and receive. You ask for it, you believe that it's already done, and you're making room in your heart and your life to receive all that God has for you. So this is how you navigate, ladies. This is how you're coping in your season of singleness as you're seeking God for your divine husband. So I hope this message is a seed. I hope that it is planted on good ground. I hope that you are able to be encouraged by the message. I hope that you can implement some of these things in your life so that you can have a different mindset about where you are in your season of singleness. And for more information on how you can coach with me, email me at bewellunith@gmail.com. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Tiara Cherie H. That's TIARACHERIH on my Instagram. And you can also find me on Facebook at Inner Healing Coaching. That's Tiara Cherie, Inner Healing Coaching. So I hope this message was a blessing today. I hope it helped you today. I hope you feel good about yourself and know that you are worthy of the desires of your heart. Until next time, you all be well. Bye.